Welcome in to Varsity Vibe. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange, and excited once again to share more conversations with you. So excited that you are here, and this episode gonna be a fun one. I had the opportunity to sit down with Pea Ridge softball head coach Josh Reynolds, and after decades of being with the program, the Lady Blackhawks bringing home their first state title in softball in 2025, and now he is ready to build on that success. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Pea Ridge softball head coach Josh Reynolds.
You're coming off of that state championship victory, and maybe we'll go back to May and what that was like for your program to win that state championship.
It was fun to watch the kids perform. It was fun to watch the town show up. Pea Ridge has been blessed with a really, really good fan base. They're going to show up. They're going to support their kids. And watching our kids play relaxed and have fun, and it was fun to watch them. I was glad I was a part of it.
What was it like just maybe looking back at the ride that you took to get there and the team resiliency and some of the adversity that you had to fight over the year to be able to end with a state title? But how special was that group for what they accomplished?
That group was fun. We've got a large returning group off that team from last year, and we had different kids step in to different roles. We had Emery Bolin, who was our pitcher. She had some health issues early on and missed half the year. Abigail Rogers, Hope Conkler stepped up in the pitching role for us and pitched very, very well last year. Then you go up and down the lineup. You had Zaylee Warden, who stays consistent. Hope Conkler again stays consistent. Mackenzie Whalen, Lexi V. Hill stayed consistent. And we had Hallie Parker that was at third. She moved in for us last year when her dad got her head coaching job and never played third. She approached it with an open mind, played third really well. Our first baseman, Ashlyn Short, was a converted outfielder. And then we've got the one that was always steady and always consistent. You knew what you were going to get every time from her, and that was Haley Wiley in center field, played really well. And then we had Paisley Tillman, who was a freshman for us, play right field. So depending upon which game you watched, depending upon which kids stepped up and had a big moment, it was fun.
That is a lot of fun. And now you take that into this year. And so how do you build off, and what did you do in the off season to help build off of that state title? And obviously understand that this is a brand new team, even though you still have pieces from that team that won a year ago, having this team kind of find its own identity.
We haven't talked about last year. This is a new group. Even though kids are on the team that were on the team last year, it's a new group, new season. We did not change our summer. We're still going to do what we do, and we preach to the kids, control what you can control and be the best version of you. Whatever it looks like that day, just make sure today is better than you were yesterday.
How consistent, with that being said, how consistent have these girls been to just stay steady to the process and not let the win last year affect how they approach this year?
Well, we talk to our kids a lot about you're a softball player, but that's not who you are. You've been given a platform. Whatever you're going to do in life, use softball as a tool to reach somebody else. So we don't try to make the game bigger than what it is. Games are supposed to be fun. They're played by kids having fun, so go have fun.
To be able to tap into that, making them understand that softball is a fun game to play, but once they walk off the field, there's somebody else. How do you pour into your team, and your assistant coaches pour into your team in that way?
So we have done it for years and years and years, but we have weekly FCA at 4:30 on Wednesdays, and it does not matter if we're on the bus. It doesn't matter. It's not mandatory, but we have a group of kids that volunteer every year to lead our team FCA huddle and bring a sense of perspective to a crazy time when you're in season, that softball is just something I do. It's not who I am.
Have you gotten, I'm sure that you have, like with the girls and how much it's impacted them, maybe not in the moment, but like later on, been like, that coach, that really helped me more than you probably thought it would.
Yeah, you get kids that come back, and of course they remember everything, and I don't remember a whole lot, and they'll start talking about stories that happened when they were in school. I don't remember it, but tell me the story. And you hear stuff from parents, and then you get, like, our newspaper with Miss Beard does senior moments with them, and they start putting down stuff about practices or about FCA huddle or about spending time in the hotel, and it just reinforces that you are people. You're not a softball player. It's just what you do.
But it makes you a better softball player, just a well-rounded human, when you don't feel like there's so much pressure on your shoulders. So let's talk about this year's team and how the season has gone so far. How are you feeling about it?
Kids have played really well so far. We had a really good scrimmage with Rogers, opened up with Fayetteville, and Coach Duncan at Fayetteville has done a really good job with them. Those kids competed really well. We hit the ball right at them all night long, ended up getting beat. And then because of the nature of the beast, we turned right around the very next day and we're back on the field. And we were able to play Van Buren. Kids played well against Van Buren. And then we opened up conference this week with a big conference sweep of Huntsville. So they've started out well. We got a big series on Monday against Prairie Grove.
What do you like the most about this group, you think?
They're gritty.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch the conversations between the kids in the dugout, going to the plate, just listening to them talk the game with each other. It makes it really easy for us coaches to step back. Hey, we need to make this adjustment, this adjustment. And then kids are able to have what we call hitter conversations. And then our new pitching coach this year, Drake Snyder, is able to talk to the pitchers in between innings. Him and Coach Chalk, who has our catchers, are able to they develop a game plan going into it. And then every half inning, the plan may change based off what we see, what the catcher sees, what the pitcher sees. So they're gritty. This group likes winning. They're used to winning. They expect to win. And so when the lights turn on, it's a completely different group than what you see on a non-game day at practice.
It's still March and it's still early though, and I'm sure that there are some aspects of what you guys are doing that you always want to improve and continue to get better as you head towards May. And so what are some of those areas that you're just like, okay, those are some things that we still know that we have to iron out?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out who's going to be in our quote-unquote everyday lineup, even though positions may change. Still trying to figure out what order works best for us as far as hitting. Still trying to figure out what kids thrive in pressure moments that can come off the bench and pinch hit. So, yes, even though it is early, we've played 5 games, we're still trying to figure it out. So
is that a good problem to have though at long term, when you think about maybe the depth that you might need or anything that could happen in the season, knowing that you've got a lot of pieces that can play in a lot of different places?
Absolutely. I mean, we preach that it's a one-day season. The biggest game is the next game. We're not looking down the road at whoever's on our schedule. We got to take care of business today. And then we always end every pregame with the starting lineup. Here's how we're going to start. If you're not there, make sure when your opportunity is called that you've prepared through practice to do it.
As a coach, what do you love the most about coaching softball?
The kids having fun.
Yeah.
They hit a big hit, get a big double, score a big run, make a big play. Just the excitement that they have, the excitement that their teammates have for them, the roar coming out of the dugout. Just watching kids have fun is a highlight of every season.
And we were talking a little bit before we got started, but just how much the game has changed and the game has grown. And I think a lot of that just has to do with the television exposure on the collegiate level that's rolled into professional leagues. And of course, it's about to hit the Olympics in LA in 2028. How fun has it been to just see the sport continue to get so much attention and grow the way that it has?
And when I got in 2007, it was a lot slower game. People were still transitioning from slow pitch to fast pitch. You look at the regional tournament last year, standing room only. People are standing behind the outfield fence at Gravette to watch a high school softball game. You look at the state tournament where Monticello was a great host, and they dismissed the kindergarten and primary school for those kids to come out and watch. It's just a really great atmosphere, and it helps when the big schools in the state, the colleges, are producing well. It just helps the sport grow.
How do you think it can continue to grow, do you think, at all levels?
I think with the help of – you can turn on ESPN and see a game any day of the week. Kids can drive – for us, kids can drive 20 minutes down the road and go watch the Hogs. They can drive to Arkansas Tech and go watch them. The game is just continuing to grow. The talent's continuing to grow, and there's more opportunities for these kids. it's been fun to watch the sport grow.
Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Varsity Vibe. And if you have missed any of the conversations that we have had with coaches and athletes over the last couple of months, I encourage you to go listen to them. They're great. You'll learn a lot. And I really enjoy getting to hear from both of these coaches and these athletes about their stories on and off the court. Also, remember to follow us on social media. That is Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok, as well as sign up for our newsletter that comes to your inbox twice a week. All you have to do that is go to varsityvibearkansas.com. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Alyssa Orange, and I will see you next time.